Alright, so to try to get the Mega Squirt to actually fit up in here where the glove box goes, this little piece right here, I gotta cut it all the way off till it gets back to this flat spot, because right actually here's where I mount it, and I mount it to right here. And I'm gonna trim this up, make it look a little bit better too. It ended up breaking. But when I get this stuff right here trimmed up out of the way, I should be able to actually put this up in here and it fit up in there nicely. But I just gotta do a little bit of trimming real quick. And then that should be mounted. And then it'll just be running power wires to where they need to go. Pretty much have the Mega Squirt mounted. So I'm gonna try to go get my Integra today and move it over here to the shop. But I gotta get all these barrels off the trailer, the car trailer that they have. I got a couple of them off. There's a couple more. But I'm bringing them right over here. And I'm gonna stack them up in between the trees. So that way, from here to that tree right over there. And hopefully, I can get that done here in the next 20 minutes or so. And once I get all these off this trailer, then we're gonna go pick up the black Integra, which has a swap in it that I'm gonna use on the red Integra. But I gotta get it here so I can get it the rest of the way out of the car. But that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, so I got them all off. And those 6 barrels still has hydraulic fluid in them. He's going to empty them out into another barrel so he can use it for his excavator. And then here are the rest of the barrels where I stacked them. But now I got that off the trailer, I can go get him to take this trailer and we're going to go pick up my black Integra and get it moved over here to the shop. So I'm here at the black Integra. We got the truck and trailer, and we're gonna get this thing put on the trailer and get it moved back over to the shop. Getting it up on the trailer. Let me check, see where it's hanging at. The radiator, what? Oh, yeah. Right there on the bottom.
If you do that, maybe we can get it over. Alright, I'll hook it again.
Okay, and then move back over. So, got it up on the trailer. Time to take it to the shop and unload it. So, I got it to the shop. I got it backed off the trailer. And I'm about to move it over here and park it right over there, close to where the hatch is at. And I'm gonna get all this shit out and put it in the container. Hell, that's the radiator and my tools. And that's mostly the hatch parts in there. The turbo for the hatch is in there. But I'm gonna get this over here, start stripping it out, get the motor and trans the rest of the way out of this thing. And then I'll cut the front end off of it. So that way I can have the shock towers and suspension and cradle and all that, and we'll be ready to get the other car out and start cutting it up so we can try to do the mid-engine swap. So there's the hatch, and here's the Integra. I just got to get it moved back a couple more feet. I can get it jacked up and get the front wheels and suspension off, axles out, and then I can go ahead and get the shift linkage off, and then I think I'm pretty much ready to get everything out. I done took all the stuff off the front. They pretty much got everything you get from up top. And so about all I got left to do is the stuff on the bottom, and then I can get this whole swap out of here and cut the front end of the car off. But so I'm in the process of trying to get all this knocked out so that way I can start on the that whole mid-engine swapped Integra. Start getting videos on that. I'm over here today at the shop working on it's pretty much a donor car because it's the body's kind of ruined on it. So, but I did get lucky. I mean, I didn't pay that much for it. Plus, it's got a set of aftermarket wheels. It's got coilovers on it, or adjustable ones. It's got a tow hook on the back. I mean, they are kind of cheap ones, but it has strut bars in the back, and it has a strut bar in the front. See, it leaks. It's really kind of bad. I got done getting the most of my stuff out of here that I had sitting in the back seat and all that kind of stuff. And then all my parts out front, I got them too. The seat's real bad. Driver's seat's not too bad, but you know, it's just, I'm gonna tear it out, get the motor out, trans out, tear out the interior, and then we'll pretty much a lot of this suspension stuff and the strut bars are gonna get put on the hatch. All right, guys, so I got it all jacked up now, and I'm gonna go around and take all the wheels off of it. So I got these wheels off on this side, and I got this wheel off, and this wheel back here is being a bitch. I put some stuff in there to help break up the penetrating oil, to help break up the rust or the corrosion, and hopefully it'll come off. I done kicked it some on the tire on both sides. It won't turn loose. Trying to get it to turn loose so that way I can start taking this thing all apart. But while I let that shit soak and try to get some of that shit out of there, I'm gonna start taking the front suspension off on this side and over here, and we'll get the coilovers and stuff off of it, along with the spindles and lower control arms and all that. We're gonna take the upper control arms. We're pretty much gonna strip the whole front end and the rear. So I've gotten the axle nut off. Now I'm gonna take off the brake line here so that way I can just bring the whole caliper off with it, and I'll take it loose right there and right here on the spindle or the strut, and then we'll hook it up there. But yeah, I'm just trying to take all this stuff out from under here. That way we can cut. There's a dirt dog nest. But pretty much trying to take all this stuff so that way we can try to put it in the back of the other Integra. So I got the strut, the upper control arm, the spindle, and all that out. The CV axle's being a pain in the ass. I gotta find a pry bar to get that out. I'm gonna go around because it's starting to get dark, or the sun's starting to go down. So I'm gonna go around to the other side and try to get the other side over here and see how much of this I can get taken off real quick, and see if I can get the same stuff off of it, and hopefully get, you know, the front done. Well, at least the front suspension kind of off of it tonight before I call it quits. So I got all the stuff off of that, including the axle, and then on this other side, same thing, including the axle. So I got all that done. Now I'm climbing up under it real quick. And now we're up under here. I gotta take the 2 bolts loose there and get the header loose. And then right here on the shift linkage, where the roll pin goes, they have a zip tie, so I'm gonna cut that. And then there's a 10mm bolt right here on the back side. I'll take that loose. The shift linkage will come down. And then the only thing that will be left is the motor mounts, and this engine and trans can drop out. Quick view under the back. It's got aluminum lower control arms. It's got a aftermarket catback. I'm taking the bolts loose right here. Pretty much taking all the hangers loose up there. Once I get that, I'll drop this and get this out of the way. That way the motor can be able to come out. But right now, this is the last thing holding me up from being able to get the motor dropped out of here. So here in a second, we'll have that out, and then I may actually get the motor set on the ground before it gets dark on me. So I got the exhaust out from underneath it and drug it out the front. I gotta get up under here real quick, get to the T-bracket. Once I get the T-bracket loose, we'll get the excavator over here, get a chain on it real quick, snag off the other 2 motor mounts, and set this thing on the ground. Might actually pull it up over and take it over there. But it's coming along, and I'm about to have this motor out probably today. What is up, guys? So it got a little darker than what I usually work till, but I did get the motor out, so I feel pretty accomplished for the day worth of work. I pretty much got both suspension. I still got to take the lower control arms out and all that. I'm gonna drop the cradle. I'm pretty much gonna strip the entire car. Tomorrow it would probably be on another video, but tomorrow I'm gonna come back and drop the trailing arms and all that, because it does have really nice aluminum lower control arms on both sides, and we're gonna get those and put those on the hatch, and we'll go ahead and I'll pull the 2 seats out of there and the rest of the interior. There's still a dash in here that needs to come out and all. We'll pull all that stuff out. We'll get this thing pretty much stripped down completely. And yeah, but I feel really accomplished. There's the hatch. I didn't really get to do anything to it today. I spent most of my day pulling the motor. But yeah, here it is. Sitting on the ground. All nice and pretty. But I'll get it cleaned up. Get the trans off of it. I don't know, I may actually leave it on there for the moment, and we may just end up going and hang it in the hatch, use it as mock-up purposes, because I got to build the dump tube for the turbo. I actually got that in here, in this, in my container, where I keep all my stuff, along with my little brother's motorcycle. It's my little brother's motorcycle. He's getting worked on right now. But here's my random pile of the parts. All the way from the clutch to the old camshafts that went bad. This is the whole reason why I had to end up, will it focus? Why I had to get new cams was because they, yeah, there you go. You can see all the lines in it. They wiped out, they started getting cracks, and it wiped off the top of them, so it's not opening the valves up as far as it should, which is why I do have a set of Brian Crower stage 2 turbo cams for my LS, so that'll make a big difference. And here is actually the turbo and stainless steel manifold that I have for it. But there's the intercooler. I mean, not intercooler, but the radiator. Fucking retard. But yeah, there's the intercooler. That's the reason why I had so well and why it's so much of a sleeper is the intercooler's black, so when you got the bumper on, you don't really see it. But yeah, it's my random stuff inside the container where I keep all my stuff right now while I'm building the car, because there's the bottom end that's going to go in there. And once we get the cylinder head done, we'll get the cylinder head on there, and we'll degree the cams and get them right. Once we get all that knocked out and I can get it onto the transmission, that motor will actually go into the hatch, and we can start getting the Mega Squirt hooked up to it, so that way we can fire it up. I wanted to already have it running as of today, because, which this will be a later, it'll be posted on a later date, but today is technically my brother's birthday, April 10th, who he passed away almost 3 years ago, and this hatch is actually his. It was his, and he wrecked it, and I've gotten it back, done a bunch of welding, got the body fixed, and got it back on the road, and you pretty much have it as a tribute car for him. And he always liked to race and go fast, so I'm trying to, build something he would be happy for. And the total overall plan of the car will to be all-wheel drive and have 1,000 horsepower, and it'd probably be B-series, maybe K-series. It just all depends on, the opportunity that presents itself in that time to what it actually gets. But yeah, but that's probably gonna be all for this video. I thank you guys for watching. So I hope y'all have a good night, and be safe with this whole way the world's going right now with the coronavirus. Peace out.